And I have you know, I'm always talking about the angle of the head going forward, trying to align. Okay, so I'm going to share this image with you all. Where to go? Just while everyone's coming. Oh, oh, I can. This is just to give you a visual about what, you know, we are spending a lot of time looking at our phones these days. So when our head is in a fairly normal position, it's about 10 to 12. Actually, I heard it was also 13 pounds. But anyway, depending on who you are, this is a relatively normal position of the neck. But when you're so this is, you know, the ears are relatively uh, aligned with the shoulders. Actually, this guy's ears are a little bit further forward. And he does have this thing going on here, but I think that's probably not quite accurate. Anyway, then we have the 15 degrees. That the weight of your head increases to 27 pounds. So that's what your shoulders and your neck are having to carry. And so that what happens there, of course, is then you're going to start caving inwards, and your shoulders are going to round and your head's going to go further forward. And then what starts to happen there is the chin actually starts to poke out because you can't see anymore. So as your head's moving forward, you lift your chin up to see where you're going, and then you've got this awful kind of curve in the back of the neck and you know, a hump in the back starting. When we get to 45 degrees, you've got 49 pounds of weight there now. And then when you get to 60 degrees, you've got 60 pounds of weight. So just imagine carrying a suitcase on your neck, like a suitcase that you would carry on a plane, like you would check in, 50 pounds. That's a lot of weight. So this is why, as we age, it's so incredibly important to be as much aligned as much as possible and to keep our belly strong, because it's just very easy for us to kind of collapse. And, you know, it's not great for your heart, for your blood flow, for your breathing when you're kind of all crunched over like this. Anyway, so there's a little bit of happy anatomy for tonight. Um, Everyone be morphing. Yes, exactly. No, that is so true. All right. So I will let me get on now. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's get back to work. Okay, so let's just settle into a nice comfortable seated posture. So I don't have the reference for that diagram. I will ask my chiropractor. She's coming back from Bhutan tomorrow. So it's in her office. And she's pretty geeky, so I imagine she wouldn't have just pulled it out of thin air. But anyway, okay. So just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. I know some of you have been working all day and you're tired, so thank you for coming. Some of you have been at teachings all weekend. So then just rejoice in your efforts for turning up. And have the feet, if your legs are down, your feet would be about a hip's width apart, flat on the floor. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretch from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And take a nice deep breath. Bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the face, the back of the head and the shoulders, the neck, the throat, the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just imagine now you're lengthening. Shoulders over the hips, ears as much as you can aligned with the shoulders. So one way of doing that is you just imagine someone has a string at the sternum and you're just very, it's almost like they're pulling it slightly forward and almost forward and up. But try not to pop out your ribs. Hold your ribs. It's almost like you're giving your heart, but you're not arching your back here. You're just, maybe just imagine opening the heart. And breathe. So Taylor Swift, probably due to her height, has had some postural issues. And she started using this, bra called a form bra, I think. And I don't know if it's just a huge amount of marketing, but it just kind of helps to hold the body in alignment. But I can also do the same thing with my yoga strap. And I'll show you guys how to do it, not tonight, maybe tomorrow night. But with your yoga strap, you can actually strap yourself up and do the same job as Taylor Swift. And it doesn't cost you as much. You can also do the same thing with a dressing gown, robe, cord. So another trick from my chiropractor I'll show you guys tomorrow. So take a nice deep breath, because I want you to have the experience of sitting straight, standing straight, and it feels much, I don't know, you kind of feel strong. So anyway, just to check the sounds in your environment. Again, the birds are giving their last chirps as they go to sleep up here in the forest. And then be aware of what's arising in your mind. Just allow it to be there. Try not to follow it, make a story. And then bring to your mind all these people of your life, our loved ones, the ones we don't like, our strangers. Remembering they're all equal. They wish to be happy. They wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So we remember there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind. So I've just been, in the session before this, we're doing the Hell Realms section of the Land Rim, and we were talking about this, Preta realm, the hungry ghosts. And one of the causes for the hungry ghost realm is jealousy and miserliness. So it's really good. These delusions that we have in our mind, it's really good that we're purifying them and being aware of what's actually there, because you don't want to be at the moment of your death and all of a sudden jealousy pops in and you haven't dealt with it before, and all of a sudden it kind of takes you by surprise. You're exhausted because everything's shutting down. So you want to have this stuff sort of dealt with while we are all fit and healthy and well enough to deal with it. Because I tell you, as you get older, it gets harder. You want to spend more time sleeping, like my dear friend Judith, who's now 91, almost 91. So I think there is no negativity that can't be purified, and we sincerely regret from the depths of our hearts having done anything to harm anyone on this day, in this life, and all of our past lives. So you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then just the ones you aren't aware of, you can just regret those as well. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't need more. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and will be the eventual cause of our rebirth into some strange place. So think, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So you people who come to the meditation in the morning will be happy to know that Tara came home tonight from the storage unit. Anyway, I can't have everybody up all at once because there's no room, but you'll see her tomorrow morning. So here we have our beautiful Vajrasattva, and just see Vajrasattva as a doctor rather than a higher power or a god or something. It's not like that. It's an expert who has methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, and this represents wisdom. And the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And so we have this little section here on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to end up as suffering for them sometime down the track, and not necessarily at a convenient time. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of nectar, white nectar, like coming out of a hose quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra ah hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa sidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Sutukaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Sutukaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire being, fills you up completely. And just imagine you've walked into a pitch black room, you flicked on the switch, and the light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So the same thing here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. And imagine these are completely purified, and now think there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from our mind stream. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tita Mebawa Sutukaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Memutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tita Mebawa Sutukaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one, because we need to make a determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. So even if we don't come from that angle, that is definitely like the compassionate bodhicitta angle, is just not wishing to not harm. But even take a moment to think about, oh gosh, if I continue to, act on my delusions like jealousy and anger and miserliness, and well, that the result of that may be a suffering rebirth. So not even just suffering in this life. So it's just always good to remember that we don't want these negative seeds in our mind at the time of our death. And we could die at any moment. I could just walk out in the street here and get run over by something. So this body is very fragile. It's good to remember that too. So just rejoice in your efforts. Rejoice in the efforts, and the fact that you're coming here night after night means you're definitely on the right track. This practice is extremely powerful. It's very precious. It's magical. So obviously I don't need to sell it to you because you're here. But just think of something you'd like to work on. And then Vajrasattva, delighted with us, wants to merge with our mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so just a wee bit on emptiness, think things don't exist the way the way I perceive them. Things probably don't exist the way I perceive them. And that's just enough on that tonight. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And Michael, do you have our next verses? Thank you. And so I shall, O master of all secrets, reveal just that to you most splendidly with single-minded focus. Listen well. How excellent, responded Vajrapani. So truly excellent. Where was that? So truly excellent. Oh, go back. Oh, blessed one. There we go. Survey of the 6 families. And then the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, surveyed in full the family great with mantras, the family of the Vidyas and the mantras, the family that is threefold by its nature, the family of and yet beyond the world, the family great in brightening the world, the foremost family of Mahamudra, and so the family great with great Vishnishas. I think we did this one on Friday, actually. Didn't we, Shayla? I think we did on Friday. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We did it again. Now we're up to 4 stages of awakening. All right. So let's just dedicate to His Holiness's long life and to the swift return of Lamsa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for all of our precious teachers who are all getting older now. So wish for them to be able to stay healthy so they can continue to teach. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Sweet dreams. I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. I think we'll do Tara, seeing as I brought her home. Okay. All right, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much for hosting. Bye.